Good morning. Welcome to Money Ox Trading. Thursday morning. Ready to try and find some money in the markets. Luckily, the windstorm wasn't as bad as they thought it might be, and I did not lose power. So I'm here. I'm ready. Not fully caffeinated, but hopefully that won't matter. And ready to rumble. So let's check what the markets have done overnight. See, NASDAQ, mostly an uptrend overnight, are from the open, almost a 200-point range. The ES, same, almost similar, very similar, about a 44-point range. Copper giving us a signal. We'll check that. Copper burned me twice last night on last night's stream. And here is copper's overnight. Looks like about a 200 tick range going upwards. Good morning, Vincent. How are you doing this morning? Gold, also mostly going up, pulling back a little bit now. Looks like about a 14-point range overnight, or since open, I guess I should say. The UltraBond's pulling back now. It's mostly been sideways-ish. Only about a point in range. Crude making new daily lows as we speak. About a point range there. Natural gas, about 160, 160 ticks in range. Pretty much straight up. Copper continues to want my attention. I did take the time this morning to look at an economic calendar, so I'm not blindsided by things. I don't remember where there it is. Here's our economic calendar for today. At 7:30 we have personal income, durable goods, PCE price index, 4-week jobless claims, initial jobless claims, core PCE price index. So 7:30 could send things a little wild for a bit. At 10:30 we have bond auctions. So about an hour from now, we'll see what happens and see what excitement greets us. Excellent job, Vincent. Well, you're doing better than I have lately. I just need to do. I just need to. Still think I just need to take more trades than what I take. I get frustrated after a loss and then hesitate. So thank you. Actually, I've been hoping someone might decide to trade my settings and show me that it does work. Unless, of course, maybe I'm just cursed and it's never going to work for me. That's awesome. So you haven't slept, Vincent, at all since we were on last night, or have you slept some? Let's see. Let me look here at the ES. Yeah. Yeah. It's about what I did here. I fell asleep a little before 1 a.m. my time and got up at 6 a.m. my time, so I got about 5 hours. I was truly expecting to lose power and never did, so that was positive. But you know, that your experiment there kind of told me another thing is I really believe that I should try to be trading overnight if I could. Because it just things just seem so much better overnight. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems better. Evenings have been biting me. Cool. That's always a good feeling when you meet your target and then you can just practice, for that morning and try some things or just hone the skills. Gold. Gold trying to pop back up after a recent downturn. Sending me a buy signal here. Has already curved the SMA line, so that's interesting. Uh, we'll grab this. Maybe. Maybe we won't. It's wishy-washy. Pulls back here. After the buy signal, it did hit the third band. So we'll see what it does. We'll look for it to curl back up and then take the trade if it does. Move the chart so I can see signals if it pops. Pop, pop, pop. Yeah, they seem to be pretty strong today after yesterday too. So, okay, gold might consolidate here, or kind of waiting. We do see here. I'll move this gold chart. Oops, move this off the screen a minute. Gold buy signal failed here. Buy signal 6 failed here. Well, only gave us 5 ticks there. Only gave us like 2 ticks here. Here it gave a nice amount from 87.4 up to 89. So that gave 16 ticks. But not much on this one. Not much on that one. So buy signals have been failing. So I'm hesitant here as we see it kind of hesitate. Yeah, I'm hesitant while it hesitates. Yeah, I'm doing good this morning. My mouth hasn't woken up yet. Let's go back to that screen for oops. And okay, so gold's pulled back. We'll re-examine that if it decides it wants to come up. Everything that's been coming down here is kind of been curling back now, just slightly above their SMA lines. Nasdaq is not giving a buy signal. Did come up nicely here, pull back again. Well, from 399 up to 447. That was a nice move. And then down from 436 to 397. UltraBond's continuing to bleed. Down almost a full point in the last 45 minutes. See, gold here is just sideways. So we want to see it get back above that where it came up here and send us the buy signal. Wicked up to 1785.2. We're at 1784.5. Oop. Nasdaq 10-point candle downward. Seems like it might be kept consolidated before heading back down, although we do have a bounce. Continue to watch it. ES doing the same. Russell doing the same. Russell just sent us a short signal. Gold sending us a short. So that buy definitely was a failure. Glad I waited on that. Big move down here on gold. It's 14 ticks. Now a bounce. Nope, no bounce. I should have jumped in here. Down 3 ticks. Oh, now there's the bounce. Yeah, we're waiting on that. This might be going sideways. Market seems like it wants to come down, but it keeps bouncing just a bit. Just a bit. So these last two signals on gold have been bad. Possibly range starting to range, you'll see. All's quiet on the Western Front. 10 minutes until the top of the hour when we should see some more volume coming in. And now everything's either sideways or kind of bleeding down. UltraBond now down well over a point in the last hour. That would have been nice to get in. A point is $1,000. Natural gas heading down. Crude sideways. Uh, Uh, slow, slow, so slow. If I had known this, I could have got an extra hour's sleep. Let's see what agriculture's done overnight. Came up, then came down. Gold came down, sent us the short signal, popped back up, and now popping back down. Looks rangy. It's a rangy mutt. So let's start drawing out some range levels here. This is the bottom of the recent move. Here at 1782.6. And the top of the most recent move, that almost tricked me, at 1785.2. That's a pretty big range. That's a 2.5 point range. So it means we could technically try to play that for little scalps. Maybe. But might not want to follow the signals because as you can see the signals have failed us. And we see gold trying to push down, so maybe this might break out of the range already, but we'll see. Up, right back up. So 1 point down, 1 point up. It's a beautiful move down here. UltraBond. I dream of catching a move like this sometime. Just follow it all the way down. Anything, any asset. This is now gone 6, 32, 38, 7, 45 ticks. At 31.25 hours, that's over 1,200 bucks in an hour. And Q kind of consolidating, trying to figure out it wants to do. Same with ES and the Russell. They're all hanging together. Natural gas has also been coming down, almost the same move as the bonds, really. And it's down, but not as dramatically in terms of money. It's down about 36 ticks. So just kind of reclining back here and watching the charts. Looking for something to give me an early Christmas present. Yeah, I not sure if I want to try and be in anything at that point or wait until after and see. I'll probably wait till after and see how it shakes out. What I need to do is I need to start taking notes to document what moves these news reports make. So when they come up again, I can see if there's any type of patterns that can be played on these news reports, or what if there's a size of the move. It's interesting is that we had this big move up here on NQ, but it's getting close to giving it all back. Although I mean, considering the huge but if you consider the huger move, obviously we're nowhere close to giving it all back. But it's unusual because you see it. I mean, it came up here and immediately started coming back down. Not even any consolidation. But right now it's kind of boring. Copper, big big whoosh down here. 12 ticks. All up. UltraBond bouncing here a bit up to its SMA line. Seeing a little bit of action here right before the top of the hour. Yep. So copper came down, popped right back up. UB bounced off the SMA. So let me see here. Let's look at copper. Guess we could do some charting here since nothing else going on. Let's see how copper did overnight after screwing me yesterday or last night. So you can see this move would have worked. I'm not sure how I lost two moves on copper last night on stream because copper actually was doing very well according to my charting. I think I entered here. That was my mistake. You can see here, this move would have worked. And it kind of consolidated. Wouldn't have taken that into the bands. Wouldn't have taken that, no volume, or that, no volume, that, no volume. This wouldn't have taken because it broke in the third band. Wouldn't have taken that against the other. This I probably would have taken and then failed. So we'll mark that. So this crude alert gets out of my way. I won't even have to draw that out. That's a failure. Next one I would have taken would have been right here. No, I would not have taken that. Well, crap. Yeah, because that was below the SMA line. Well, the SMA line was kind of sideways, so I can't say I would or would not have taken it. In the heat of the moment, possibly I would have, and then it would. I mean, it would have worked. Then this pullback I wouldn't have taken, but I would have tried this one and it would have failed. Boop, boop, boop. Failed there. And honestly, now this is one thing I struggle with, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, which is how everything is. But if I would have been in this trade and it came down here, sent me this short signal, came back up, and then went back down below the SMA line. This, if I was looking at the short signal, that would have been my signal for entry. So this is where I should get out for that loss, to lessen that loss. But yet I know sometimes it'll go, and I gotta look at that more. Oh, gold sent me a signal, didn't it? Give me 1 second. Let's go check what gold's doing. Gold, ooh, buy signal, heading upwards. I missed it, broke out of that range. Let's quickly maybe jump in. Hopefully it's not a FOMO jump. Ooh, big move. Third band, into the third band. I think I missed my chance here. How much time on this candle? Yeah, let's see what it does when this candle closes. Oh, it's going to continue. Okay. That only ended up being a 6-tick candle, really? Yeah, only ended up being a 6-tick candle. Like I said, this is my missed opportunity so far this morning. It's up 11 ticks so far. So we'll continue to chart out copper overnight. See, that would have given us gold. Not have taken this one here, the pullback, and then this would have been the entry to take. If I was paying attention, I won't mark it off as a win, but if I was paying attention, and that would have ended up going well through profit target. Matter of fact, that would have started right here, started the wave up. See, I think the stops is hot. Yep, it does. And it starts ranging. And now it's giving us that's a signal. Hold on, let's look. Let's jump to the front. Ooh, wow. Big candle upwards. 18 tick candle upwards. Still heading upwards. Recent short, let's look at it. Would have entered here. 8 ticks would have just barely not stopped us out. And we would have got profit target. I may need to revisit that 8 tick stop to a 10 tick stop, but I don't like that. Prefer to keep it at $100, but see, Nasdaq's continuing to come down. It's now, it's now giving up 21, 35, 56 points off this short signal here. UltraBond tried to come up, immediately failed. Now it's trying again. Yep, definitely missed the boat on gold here. Hate missing boats of gold. Excuse me. Yep, right back down on here in copper. Nasdaq continuing to head down. Kind of surprised about this bleed out here. I was agreeing with Vincent that I thought we were going to see long, so maybe it'll happen with news reports, or maybe it'll happen with the open. But right now, everything is selling off. We can see here the daily range. It's better, easier seen on the 5-minute chart. Actually, I totally missed the mark on the low, so let's try that. The low for the session is 289. We're back to 363, so it was still far away from the low of the session. But you can see the high here, it was at 457. So it's now giving that back 100 points. It's giving back 100 points in a little over an hour, about an hour and a half. As you can see, it's now below both these pullbacks here that we saw before it continued to rise up. So it's broken those support areas. The next support area really is, maybe there around 329, but if not, it's the low of the day. That last 5-minute candle is 26 points. ES, I mean, basically the same moves. Since it's an inch short signal, it's gone down only 5 points, so not as dramatic at all as the NQ. Let's see if there's any news that, like if Elon Musk said something or news headlines are just about yesterday. Let's do a search on Twitter, which can be more of a leading versus lagging indicator. We do see that gold would have went to my profit target big time, which is 3. It's already above 4, so that was definitely a missed opportunity. Let's check what Tesla's doing. I usually keep a Tesla chart up just because it sometimes can indicate why the market's acting weird. Because that's such a big influence. Tesla's off a bit pre-market, back above 1,000, but now it's dropped back below 1,000. You see, Tesla liked the FMOC news yesterday. Right there's FMOC. It shot up $15 a share in the first 5 minutes, then pulled back, lost it all, bounced, and then went up the rest of the day. So when FMOC hit, it was at 940, and it closed, if you include the aftermarket hours, it closed at 989. So it went up about $46. So that kind of correlates with the NASDAQ move that we saw. It's weird how much one stock can influence these indices. One stock with a crazy CEO. So gold continues up. Let's see, NQ may have found a bottom, maybe not. Let's see. Nope, I spoke too soon. It's continuing to go down. Copper. Well, copper performed an interesting little acrobat. There, came up, came down, now back up. So I mean, it dropped from here where I would have entered at 430.75. It dropped all the way down to 422.90. I'm sorry, 429.90, which of course would have stopped me out because I mean that was 17 ticks down and now back up. For 15 minutes from our news reports. Hold on 1 second. I don't know what this resistance line I had drawn out here, but it just gold just burst through that as well. Let's see if it's something I just forgot about at some point in time. Wow, it goes way back. Yeah, I got no clue. Oh, maybe back here. So back all the way back to the 13th. I say all the way back like it was last year. But we guess we can get rid of that line. I guess we can get rid of these lines that I drew out for this that range it was in for a few minutes. So this is why, it does get a little bit hard. You can see here this buy signal now did hit the third band. So that was my clue not to get in, but it got, you see, it got above the SMA line. SMA line was starting to even curl up a bit, but it failed. Now, it almost performed the exact same move here on this buy. Did not hit the third band, but the second one did. So if it had been, and then that went. This and this look very similar. The only difference was this fired right after a downtrend. Downtrended for about half an hour before it came back up. So there was no consolidation. Usually you see things kind of go sideways, kind of like this, for a little bit after a trend before it decides to trend back the other way. So that's the main difference here. But, the only thing that stopped me from getting in here is the fact that it hit the third band. It came down. The candle here was about the same size as the wick. So that's usually a bad sign. Or I shouldn't say bad sign. A sign of that we're going to reverse at least some. Whereas here on this buy signal, it was a very small wick at the top. So that was also a better indicator that we're going to go upwards. But, I'm here trying to process all that information within seconds because, I mean, these are 1 minute candles, obviously. You know, Sometimes my saving grace is the fact that, I'll quickly jump into the chart, and as it rolls onto the next candle, and the next candle will show as red, so that'll cause me to hesitate and be able to process this information better. Now, most trends, if it's going to trend, you know, if you miss a first candle on the 1 minute chart, it's not going to matter much. But sometimes it does. And maybe I might need to do some analysis on that because I was stupid. I didn't get in on this one. I saw it here. I said, well, this is already gone without me. And it really hadn't gone without me. It was only 2 minutes in. If I was running a 2 minute chart or a 3 minute chart, the signal wouldn't have been fired yet. I could have got, if I was looking for 3 points here, which is what I would normally look for about this time of day, I could have gotten that candle, that candle, that candle, gold sending me a short signal, that candle, and that candle. And still all would have got my 3 points. Is the first candle that went that. So I said it went without me here, and I had another 5-7 minutes before where I could have still got in and got what I wanted. So I need to be quicker in my thinking and not on a 1 minute chart, not be afraid to jump in a few seconds after. So there's short signal back to the SMA line here on gold. See if it bounces. Nasdaq has found a bit of a bottom here around the 360 area. Bouncing up to the SMA, coming up to the SMA line, trying to bounce off of it. Well, honestly, this is usually where you might see a break upwards some because we already double bottomed. Came down, up, down, now back up again. So I would not expect it to come back down here at this point. But we shall see. We'll wait for a buy signal before we get to a buy. Gold did break the SMA line. It's gone 9 ticks so far since the short signal. These are doing this lately, the last couple days, where it's you know going after it was still been uptrending everything, and yet it gives me a good signal that I normally wouldn't take. Copper's also heading up now, so it fired here. We had downtrending bands, downtrending bands, downtrending SMA line, pulled back, came back up again, pulled back a second time, and now it's going. Entry, good entry. We've been here after this candle established itself above the SMA line, so this candle will be a good entry point. 65 up to 25 so far, so it's 12 ticks up. I'll normally be looking for 16 ticks, so it would be 3/4 of the way to my profit target. See, NASDAQ has gotten above its SMA line. It's flirting with the buy signal here, right below the ATR line. But we do have those strongly downtrending bands. So, do we think NASDAQ's going to break and cause those bands to push up? What it normally would do here, I shouldn't say normally, but the expected move here is that it comes up, pulls back, and then goes if it's going to go up. Gives the bands that time to kind of come down, straighten, and curl. But it might just go. We'll see. I should jump in with 1 micro there. I'm talking a lot this morning. Yep, I was just going to ask you, Vince, if I see the long signal fired there on ES. That was actually more established, more above the SMA line than the NASDAQ is. And ES is up a 1/2 point on that next candle. And Q. Let's go long. Oh wait, that's M and Q. Let's do M and Q because I'm not totally confident on this. We will only do 2 though. Okay, so long 2 on MNQ, which really isn't part of my trading plan. My trading plan's 5 or nothing, but well, not totally 100%. I'm expecting the pullback that we might be seeing here, and then go. So looking for 20 points with a 10-point stop. Copper just made a big move up, would have reached profit target. Oh crap. Okay, so you know what? We entered these moves right before that news at the top, that the half hour. I wasn't thinking there. So hopefully the news is positive since we're long. See, the bands are kind of low level. And back here at around 28, the 47, 28-ish. Is that what you mean? $25. Cool. Okay, yeah, I see that now. See that the bands are starting to bend just a slight bit upwards. The SMA line has flattened out. My Pennsylvania Dutch accent. Out in the light. Sideways for the last 2 or 3 minutes here. Minute and a half from whatever news is going to break. Let's say if I was to put my stop down at the swing low, I would be down to 64 or so, 55. Anyway, somewhere between 64, no, I'm sorry, no, 52. I'm in at 74, so I'll be at 22, 22 point stop. It's not horrible. We'll give it a little bit more room to breathe. Move my stop down to 16,360 to give it a little bit more room to breathe in case the news reports do the quick down and up thing. It's only 2 micros, so I think I made my risk now $60. There's the top of the hour. Not top of the hour, the news, nothing. Well, this is kind of boring so far. Gold giving us a buy signal. No news bounce at all? Oh, there we go, maybe. We're up 2 points on NASDAQ on this candle. Well, there we go. Now we're seeing some momentum. Actually took the algos a little bit of time to respond. Still not a huge response. 6 points. We're moving on up. Stop losses move to break even. Ouch, pulling back though. Mm, uh, Not much of a response here at all. Yep. News did not really excite the market one way or the other. We got a little bit of a push up. It's pulling back now. It stopped me out for like a $2 loss. Let's see if it bounces off the SMA. Yeah, that's what it's doing. I probably should have moved my stop back further, or not let it trail. I don't know. Trailing stops have been getting me in trouble lately. Maybe I'm not giving it enough room. We'll see if I should have followed Vincent's lead and put the trailing stop at below the last swing low. Oops, I've totally forgot to bring up my chart for that whole thing. Gotta remember to do that. Anyway, so I entered here, pulled back, it went up with this green candle, and then it stopped me out coming back down as after my trailing, it moved up far enough that my trailing stop moved to break even, and then pulled back. Knocked me out. And it's still coming down, so it looks like that trailing stop might have been a good thing, because it's sending me a short signal. My entry was at 16,374. We're down to 16,363. So natural gas. See what it's doing. We'll get rid of this for now. And gold sending us another short signal. So you see it came up, pulled back, back up, and now back below. And to me, that looks like it wants to head downward. But what do I know? So far, nothing's been like right now. We don't have much consistency in anything, but NQ did give us a short signal. It's now coming down. Yes, down to 47.28. UltraBonds are continuing downward. Wow. So UltraBonds have uh, now giving up almost 2 full points in less than 2 hours. CFT is making big money, I bet. So we did get a short here in gold. See if it bounces off this SMA, or if it's just going to want to range sideways here. Okay, things are sideways. So that news really didn't bring much into the market this morning. So that's well, so let's check some things out here. Let's gonna go back a couple years since we've got nothing going on a daily chart here. I want to see what kind of volume we see around Christmas time. See if volume's down compared to other times. I totally missed 2020. Oops. Uh, help if I show volume. So volume 112. Here's where we're at now. 1.5, 1.2, 1.73, 1.1. Christmas Eve volume was definitely down. Eh, maybe not really. Nothing different, too different there. Let's check 19. 1.9, 1.6, 1.1, 1.1, 1.3, 665, 297, 494, 987. Okay, so nothing too major. What kind of volume have we seen the last couple days? Yeah, actually, volume's well above the last couple years of this time of year. We're seeing well over 2 million in volume on the ES. So maybe there isn't much of a thing about lack of. I would think there'll be less trading right up around the holidays, but maybe not. That's a lot of lines in that daily chart. 1 minute. Okay. Oop. Yep, I was just gonna say. It looks like you just got stopped out, Vincent. So, so what are your thoughts, Vincent? You were seeing this long downtrend on the indices. You still got a long bias? Or are you thinking? You thinking of changing that? I should have took this Nasdaq that's down 18 points. Gold made a big move down. I should have took that as well. Keep saying that. I should have took that as well. Should have took that as well. Should have took that as well. Kind of watching, waiting. It still seems like a subdued morning. I don't know. Seeing moves being made, but cool. UltraBond again. So we're coming. If we watch this move down, pull up to the SMA line here once, twice. Actually sent a buy signal here, failed, back down. Third time, fourth time, came down. Has done it again. Now it's trying to come down more. It's quite the sell-off. Let's check C. Let's go to a daily chart. It's easier that way. Well, actually, the 5-minute chart's probably ESA. ESA. Boop, boop. So, well, we were last this low December 12th. Let's check out that resistance area, or support area, I should say. This is our price line. So, wow, the next support area is nearby at 196.10, only 3 ticks away. And then before that, we got to go all the way back to the 8th. Oh, stretch. Up. You see UB is trying to poke its head up. This is a 7-tick candle. Nasdaq's down to 334. So if I had taken this short signal, would have given me 30 points so far. 30 points so far. If I had taken this short signal on gold, it went down to only 17 ticks. I say only 17, but that would be a nice little win, although less than what I'm usually looking for. It's trying to give me a buy signal back up. So it looks like, once again, it's wanting to range here a bit. Buy signal on gold. I want to see it get it back above this recent high of 1790.3. Although, I mean, it has room to get up before it gets up there. That's 15 ticks. I don't know. I don't. It's been making, these moves down. So I'm not one, and we have a downtrending SMA. So I'm not real confident this is just going to go back up and get above here and here. But it could. But overall, to me, that doesn't look like a bullish chart right now. Quite the sell-off here, though, on NQ. Oh, there's the train. 436 down to 334, so it's dropped 100 points. Guess tomorrow is a quad witching event. They always talk about that event when it comes up once every 3 months. I'm not sure how much effect it really has. Gold is just about at that level. Pull back. Maybe I overestimated. It wasn't as close as I thought. Not an exciting morning. I mean, we've been watching everything come down, but no big news bounces, no big move. I mean, these moves kind of lull me to sleep, even though, and then they ended up being bigger moves. Tesla's pulling back as well. Gold's doing a sneaky curl up here, so this buy signal might have worked. It's right near this here. Pull back again. Just can't wait to pull back again. Folks, if you're here from YouTube, please remember to hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate if you did. It's not the lowest of sleep though. Signals, usually you're getting way more signals running a 1 minute chart. And you can see here, signals are coming few and far between, which obviously indicates strong trends. Now the ES here has gotten above its SMA line. We are seeing it's almost at the ATR. See if it bounces here or continues upwards. We have a strong downtrending bands. NASDAQ doing the same thing. Yep, there's the buy signal on the NASDAQ. See if it comes up, comes down, goes back up. Good morning, Ace. How you doing? UltraBond's now sideways, so it might have found its bottom here. Good to see you too. How's the trading this morning? Have you taken anything yet? Oh, Okay, so we got some movement here now at the top of the hour. Big move down here on the NASDAQ, 12 points. Gold popped up by a few ticks. Copper down by, 20, almost 20 ticks. Now 26 points down on the NASDAQ. Wow. Holy Toledo. So something woke up everything right here at the top of the hour. Big move down, that bouncing here on the indices actually. Coming right back up. Well, that puts some excitement in the market, although it really, I mean, we're back to almost back to status quo after that big move down. I don't know. Usually at the 9 o'clock hour, you see a pop on the energies, crude and gas, but you don't really see that type of pop there at the indexes. Moved down and big wick down and came right back up. Let's look at that. Here on Nasdaq, this candle here opened at 16,344, went all the way down to 16,312, so a 32-point drop, and then came back up and to 16,340. So the net of that candle was only down less than 4 points, but it moved 30 points, 32 points. Yeah, it was strange. And now it seems like it's sent the market back downwards though, because our next two, well, maybe not, but next candle is down 6. Up, pop right back up. Something's, well, there's the volatility we're looking for. This is more of the kind of moves I was expecting with the news that came out at 8:30 that market really didn't care about. Shoveling snow. Well, I'd rather have snow than the windstorm that came through here last night. I thought for sure I was going to lose power. Lights blinked like 20 times, but never lost power. UltraBond is making a move up now. UltraBond also had a reaction there at the right there at the top of the hour. Big move up instead of down. It went up 13 ticks. Came the lost half of it is now back above the top of that candle. No, Central Illinois. Big windstorm came through the big Midwest last night. They call it a derecho. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but hurricane force winds through the middle of the country uh, was spawning a whole bunch of tornadoes in Iowa. Spawned first, they believe the first ever December tornado in Minnesota, and now we were getting like 65-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It's calmed down now, though. This weather's weird though for December. Tornado outbreak a week ago. They've never seen this one of these windstorms in December before in the Midwest. This weather is just, it's central Illinois. It's supposed to be like 40 degrees, and we hit 70 yesterday. Yeah, I mean I have a basement. I live in the middle of the city though, so you don't really see tornadoes come through the city. I'm not out in the country, but yeah, it's always fun when the tornado sirens go off. We didn't, no sirens went off last night. Luckily, it kind of lost some power as it came across the Mississippi, but winds were still howling. And you would think, in an area that does get hit by high winds a lot and by tornadoes occasionally, that the power company was smart enough to put their lines underground, but they don't. So every little windstorm gets branches knocked off trees and power lines down. If they just took the time and spent a little money to, put some of the power lines underground, especially in the city, it would save so many power outages. Yep. Nasdaq sending us another short signal here. Honestly, here in the Midwest, or at least around this area, if you can afford it, you should almost always have a backup generator because power goes out at least once or twice a year. So see, gold's done this quiet little grind up, has now gotten above or right about this area where it double topped here, yep, and just burst through that area. It hit the third band. I'm gonna, uh, maybe not. Trying to decide if I want to jump in on gold here. It's kind of playing with me. Told that the jobless claims report did not look good today. So let's look at that. Bring it up on Twitter. U.S. jobless claims climb 18,000, but still near lowest level. That's not a bad report. It's a rocky, just ticked higher. Still not horrible, but apparently not what the market expected. So I'm in on gold. Let's see if I made a mistake there or not. See if it continues to trend upwards. Looking for 15 ticks. Just less than I'm normally looking for, but this hasn't been moving with much velocity. 10 tick stop loss. Do you see a short signal again on NASDAQ? We're about 10 minutes from the, I'm sorry, 20 minutes from the open. This is pulling back on me already. Right, back to break even. There we go. We're up 3 ticks or so. Yep, there it goes down and up. Ah, yeah, it's coming down. And 2 ticks from stop out. Okay, stop me out. Ah, I forgot to show the chart again on that trade. So in here, out there, it's popping back up, of course. Probably should have moved the stop down to below the SMA line. Let it bounce. So, maybe I need to stop looking, and there's a train again. Maybe I need to stop looking so much at the support and resistance. I said I didn't want to get in on this buy signal until I got above here. And if I gotten in there instead of waiting, wow, it's a loud train this morning. I would have got 30 ticks out of it. And I don't know, when I'm just doing this, if I'm just going through and charting out, I don't look at support and resistance. I don't. When I'm here saying, okay, I wouldn't take this, and I wouldn't have taken that, but I would have taken that short trade. But see, and that would have failed, I think. So, but maybe not. 1.6. Yeah, that would have worked. So, but I'm not looking at uh, the support and resistance when I'm just doing this. When I'm just figuring out whether or not a trade would have worked. I just I just assume I would take the trade. A nice move above the SMA line. There's no reason not to take that trade there. But I looked at the support and resistance, and if I hadn't, I could have got 3 points out of it at the very least. So maybe I just need to follow exactly what I'm doing when I'm charting out instead of overanalyzing when I'm live. NASDAQ continuing to come down, now down to 310, actually hit a low of 303. Now this 300 level is exactly where I was playing with last night when NQ was giving me fits. And it was, see, you can see it ranged here. I think this is, I did stop out on an NQ trade last night. I think this was it right around here, where you can see it ranged in that whole 300 area for quite a while. Finally started going up after I got off stream, of course, excuse me. But yeah, NQ is giving a lot back. Let's look at let's look at the 5-minute chart where I have it marked off. Yeah, you can see NQ is actually now closer to its bottom for the day than its top by far. Let's see, the bottom was where? 77.25. Yes, so 277.25, and we're at 315. It's now giving back 140 points from its top. Yeah, Ace, I agree. And that's why, I admit there's been times that I've kind of like wanting to give up because it's frustrating and I'm not performing like I want to. But there's a part of me that thinks that there's going to be just a breakthrough point that once I get it, because I see the numbers. I see the numbers that they work. I've been tracking it through a spreadsheet and all that, and it works. So I've been just trying to convince myself there's going to be a point in time where it just starts clicking. I mean, if you look here in the NQ, this is a 5-minute chart. So let's go back to the NQ in the 1-minute. Obviously, we've been on this downtrend now. So if I had taken this short, just looking for 20 points. Well, this is the S&P chart. No wonder 20 points looked like a lot. Let's try that again. NASDAQ, 20 points. And we're 12 minutes away from the open, by the way, guys. But if I had taken this, looked for 30 points, well, how nice of it, with a 15-point stop. We got it there. And there. Now, stupid me, instead took this buy signal. Now I ended up stopping up just on their break even. But honestly, I mean, you don't know where it's going to reverse, but this is obviously was just a pullback. So, I shouldn't have even tried to trade against the trend, or if I do trade against the trend, um, go for a much shorter profit target, like 5 points, like a scalp more than anything else. So now we are getting, speaking of this, a buy signal on the NQ. So again, big move up, but we still have downtrending bands, still have a downtrending SMA line. But we have, you see, we have, this is basically a 20-point bounce. Good luck on that, Vincent. Oh yeah, and I agree. Ace, the thing is though, and I agree with that, cutting the winners, I mean cutting the losers quick I'm trying to do everything of a 2-to-1 reward to risk now, but sometimes I'll try to cut a loser quick and then it goes my direction. So sometimes I feel like I don't give it enough space to shake out. I don't know. So I'm trying to just come up with a system, a 2-to-1 system that I like, and and then I can lose 33% lose 66% of my trades and still break even if I can get everything 2-to-1. But uh, what's your entry point, Vincent? The guy, I don't understand the guys that don't use stops. I mean, it's probably works for some. I know there, but I don't know. I especially think in these gauntlet account, in these evaluation accounts, people have to use a stop because you have your max drawdown, you have your uh, daily loss limit. You can't just let I mean, I could see maybe trying wider stops. I've thought about that. I've also thought about maybe more trying to use the ATR, which is these red and green lines here, or you see, are the ATRs, and they can provide good stop. But I'm also not sure about like here. If I got in here, let's see. Oh, this is the ES again. I keep doing that. It's not too bad. But there's sometimes that if you're using the ATR, it's like gives you like a 50-point stop, and it's like, nah, I'm not gonna risk $1,000 hoping to get 2,000. Yep. Trade's looking good so far, Vincent. So gold, send me this short signal, coming down, coming down, down, down. Come down 5 ticks so far. Yep, that's what I'm trying. There's a couple things that just I don't know. I haven't been able to find a sweet spot where 2-to-1 works regularly. Like copper, since I went to 2-to-1 on copper, I seem to be stopping out more often. So I got to figure out why. Because I mean, I'm not sure why this. I'm getting so many signals that I end up reversing by 8 ticks. I might need to, I'm trying to keep everything to like a $100 loss, no matter what trade I get into. So that's 8 ticks on copper. That's 10 points on 5 micro Nasdaqs. That way everything's kind of synergy. I take no more than $100, maybe 125 up to 125 with slippage. And that way, I mean, on a day I could lose up to like 15 trades in a row without hitting my daily loss. Now, if I lose 15 trades in a row, then I might need to find something else to do besides this. We're about 5 minutes to the bell. Staying out of anything now. Copper is giving me a buy signal. Now see, here's what I'm talking about with looking at resistance versus not looking at resistance. And we'll see how this turns out. Because this buy signal here, if I was looking at this chart later on, not live, I would just I would just hit this thing and see wherever it went. Boom, my stop, and not even look at the fact that it came up here and here and here and waited for it to get above there or whatever. So I don't know. In that same token, it could have saved me here from this bad short signal because I might have waited for it to get below this level here. I don't know. So we are 5 minutes to the bell. Russell sending us a signal here. Not taking any trades here a couple minutes before the bell. And Q coming down again. About 40 minute and 45 to the bell. Hey Jay, how you doing? One minute on the bell. Let's see where we go. We've been going down, 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 down for the past 2.5 hours. So let's see what the open brings us. Going down, down, down in a burning ring. Oh, sorry. Okay. There we go. Boop. So pop up there, then back down. Let's go to this screen. Watch the ES and the NQ. Not a huge, not nothing huge yet. Market seems subdued so far. Tesla also popping down here, down $4 a share. Oh, I see a little bit of green now, maybe. Nope, red. Well, S&P's green, Nasdaq's red. Both are red now. 14, 18, 22. There we go. Now we're starting to see a little bit of velocity. Down 21, 23 points so far since the open. 26. S&P down uh, about 2.5 points. Uh, Nasdaq is just less than 20 points away from its session low, which is near the open, the actual open of the day last night. ES is still about mid-range. Another big push down. NQ down 30 points since the open, since the bell, I should say. It's given everything back that it's gained today now, or almost. And it's dropped 170 points now in 2.5 hours. Bouncing a little bit here, coming back. 10-point green, 1-minute candle on the NASDAQ ES. Still hanging right around 47.17. Today, folks, the direction of the day seems to be down so far, but we've seen these initial moves one way, and then it bounces a few minutes after. Oh, another big move down. Copper sending me a signal, so let's check what other things are doing here. Copper's down, popping down short. Treasuries have made a nice recovery. So you can see here the UltraBond kind of consolidated and made this huge move down. Now, since this where it got it back above the SMA line right here at 196.12, it's come up almost another full point. So, like, I think it was what, $2,000 down, $1,000 up so far, and that's happened all since 7 o'clock Eastern. Gold trying to pop up, hitting the bands, sending the buy signal. Gonna wait to see what it does with the bands. Nasdaq is, you can see, that's right. These lines here, I remember now. These lines here from last night's stream. This was the range it was in last night for like 2 hours. And it's kind of back there. I mean, it's below. It's gotten below, obviously. We'll see whether or not. Crude heading down slightly, as is natural gas. Russell's come down, maybe a bounce. This looks like a reversal candle here. Seeing some green now in the indices. Yep, big move here up on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq's recovered 46 points. Wow, actually, it's now above the open. So there it was. Vincent, it just came down to stop you out, and then Now came back up. And I hate that feeling. Although there it's now it's all right. So it just doesn't know what it wants to do right now. It's up, down. That candle just turned red. So it went up. This candle went up 32 points and lost it all and back down. Oops. Russell. So this gold signal I should have taken. I'm hesitant because we had downward trending bands. I wanted to see it break the bands upwards, and it has. Third thing I should just blindly take trades. This short signal though wouldn't have worked. 88.5 down to wait 87 6. So it gave us 9 ticks. Up Nasdaq heading south now has broken a new daily low. Wow. Honestly, yeah, I agreed with Vincent. I thought today we were going to see long. It came up nicely. Big move up yesterday, but it's like, obviously it still has a ways to go before it gives back what it did yesterday. We're still in a much tighter range than what we saw after the FMOC yesterday, but still, the sell-off is kind of surprising. But honestly, I still think we're going to see a bounce at some point. It's going to take us back up, probably 350-ish. I don't know. Ace, he was trading on Sim anyway. He already reached his profit goal today. Ironically, he started using my signals, and he traded the London session and hit his profit target using the signals I've been using. So he's doing better with my system than I am. I'll be really surprised if this doesn't bounce at some point this morning. Before the session closes. I'll be surprised if we don't close somewhere in the mid three, like around 350-ish. Let's look. Let me check back here. Yes, ES has done almost a similar thing, not as quite as dramatic, which is kind of how it is with ES. They run the same way, but just not quite as dramatic. Up, NQ, another new daily low. So we're down to 16,248 is the new low. It's now given up over 200 points. Copper giving us a short signal. Wow, look at that treasury. Oh my God. So that is not, that is not your normal pattern that you see. This short signal came at 198.13, came all the way down to 196.10, so over 2 points, and now it's back up to 198.02, which is just 10 ticks away from where it started. Copper, big move down on the short signal below the bands. Nasdaq just continuing its bleed out. Wow, I should have taken that short signal. And once again, I haven't gone back and started really. This is another thing I need to start taking notes of. I have noticed that more times than not, that the signal I get before the open is the signal things move in. This is the way that things move. It's like somehow it knows. Just like I think yesterday before the FMOC. No, yeah, FMOC. It kind of, I mean, here is FMOC. It gave me this buy signal before. Now, obviously, the minute FMOC hit, it shot down, and this is where I caught my $1,100 trade. But the actual move was right. It sent this buy signal, and it ended up being right if you want to hold through a 55-point drop. But so it seems like more often than not, it sends me the correct signal for the event, whether that's the open or a news event. But it sends me a couple minutes beforehand. So I don't know if the market like if there's you know, they anticipate what the reports are going to say and play that way, or how that works. Meanwhile, we're continuing to head down on the Nasdaq. We're continuing to, I mean, it's just a surprising sell-off. Gold, this was a great signal on gold, as you can see. Went up 4 points. Pull back here on gold. Seeing a slight movement up here on the indices. And by slight, I mean 20 points. When you say slight, you realize that you're talking about $400. Gold sending a short signal that quick, but bouncing off the SMA line. That short signal on copper so far has not worked. It's reversed. Seeing a move up here on the S&P, the Russell. Trying to get back up to the SMA. Crude's been selling down as well. So you're not expecting a big bounce, Vincent? That was a 32-point candle, 1 minute. Kappa. Kappa, kappa, kappa. Coming back up to the SMA line. So this is a copper's being very choppy. And it really has been. Look at this. This buy signal obviously failed. This short signal failed. And now this buy signal is going to fail. This signal would have worked if you wanted to work through this pullback. You can see here. I wouldn't have taken this because of the downtrending everything. But if I had used a, wow, 18 tick stop, but even that, I mean, to get a decent reward to risk, I wouldn't have gotten it. So copper is definitely being temperamental today. Oh yeah, I know, Vincent. I'm not taking your, it's not like I'm. You don't need to provide a disclaimer. I'm just curious what people think. You know, we see the UltraBond giving us a short signal back to the SMA. Let's see if it bounces. Haven't seen. I mean, here gold bounced off the SMA, heading back up, and copper bounced off the SMA, heading down. And right now the S&P is riding its SMA on the 1 minute, but the Russell burst through it, burst through its SMA. And Q, ES and Q, try to send long signals here. So we've seen a pretty big bounce here now with NQ. It came down to a low of 212. It's up to 276, so a 60-point bounce. It's kind of looking strong, but it goes against my trading plan because I have downtrending Bollinger Bands, downtrending SMA line. So I shall wait. But on that same note, on the UltraBond here, we had uptrending SMA line, uptrending bands, although the bands would kind of come down now, and this short signal would have been brilliant. Oop, Nasdaq. 35.1 minute candle back down. And that's why I don't take that buy signal. Yeah, I have the 200 EMA on most of my charts. There's a couple I don't for some reason. I need to figure out why. I think I've accidentally deleted them. So I have to add them. Although I've been wondering if I should run a 200 EMA that's on a different time frame. I'm not sure if the 1 minute chart is as accurate with a 200 EMA as like a 5 minute chart. NASDAQ with another move down. Remember the low before was 212. It's back down to 214. Oh, just new daily low. How low will she go? I know there's some traders that won't like, right now we're seeing on the Nasdaq the 200 EMA is above the price action. So I know there's some traders that will only take shorts when it's above, and only take longs when it's below. And I mean I kind of like that, but in the same token, if I do that, then this move would be totally missed. But I mean, I don't know. It's one of those other things I fight with. And if I had more time, I would, figure out the percentage of time that works versus doesn't work or whatnot. I just don't have enough time to do all the analysis. I need like a couple people to volunteer that love to do statistics to do a couple hours of work each week to analyze. See, the short signal here actually did not work, which might be the sign that this might be starting to level out. It could get a couple more ticks, a couple more points below its previous low, 6 points below its previous low. Just trying to head back up. Gold continuing up. So obviously this has been a great buy signal here. Didn't really look like it, but it's gone up almost 5 points since. But it actually gave me 2 additional chances, and I hit the wrong chart. Boop. You know, this was the buy signal. I didn't like it because of where, how the bands are still coming down into it. So it came up here, a lot of signals all of a sudden, and pulled back. So this would have been a good entry right here. Pull back a second time. Once it came up, this would have been an entry. All three of these would have worked. What's all those signals? Oh, NASDAQ again coming down, new daily low. So maybe I was wrong. I should have taken that short signal possibly. I do hesitate as things are continue coming down. Where's the bottom? Even when it sends me another signal. ES sending another short signal. Russell's kind of leveled out. Yeah, gold's continuing to fly. UltraBond sends us a buy signal here. Got back above the SMA. High of this move is 198.08. It's at well below that. Wow, it's a big move down. Bigger move down than I thought. I need to take one of these signals. I haven't been taking anything. Oh, there's a signal on S&P. Looks like it does continue to move down. Let's boom, 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 boom. It's on an ES chart. ES. 12.6, 3 points. Do I look for 3 points? How big was that last candle? Over 3 points. Okay. Okay, we're in on ES. Oh, I guess you guys want to see that, probably. Here we are. Up 6.6 so far. Up, pull back again. Ah. There we go. Ah, it's going to stop me back out of break even. Maybe not. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. There we go. Now it's trailing. Continue. There we go. Okay. Okay, we got a winner. Got a winner there. Hold on. Uh, stats. Got in at 47.05, 25 out of 47.02, 75. So I think it was 2.5 points ended up being. So nice win there. See, like it came back up, hit my trailing stop. It looks like it might be continuing down. I don't know. Yeah, it's continuing down now. It's below my where I got out, but that's okay. Thank you, Vincent. I should have stayed in longer. I don't know. Sometimes I think the trailing stops are great. Sometimes I think they aren't so great. I gotta work on that. So I would be up 4 points now on this trade if I had stayed in. Copper, again coming down. Uh, wow. While I was in the ES trade, I didn't realize Nasdaq lost another 100, almost another 100 points. Holy crap. Okay, Vincent, you were very, very right so far. Wow, I wish I had taken a Nasdaq trade instead of that ES trade. Wow. So now Nasdaq is giving back 300 points from its top, over 300 points. Now we're still only about halfway. It's given away about half of its move up on the FMLC yesterday. So this is, Tesla. Whoa, wow, look at Tesla. Since the open, Tesla has lost $40. So I could have got a cut like 2 extra points out of that trade on the ES, but kind of just wish I just, you know, look at this. If I had taken all these short signals as this was coming down on NQ, there was the first one, there was the second one. I just messed that up. Remove, clone, here. Oh wow, actually, see there, 15 would have stopped me out. That was right at the open too. So that stopped me out then. But then this one would have been good. And this is just one of those times you if you could get in here and just let one run. But hey, one day I'll catch those. One day when I'm brave enough to trade more than one contract and just let one go to profit target and one sit back at break even. UltraBond, this would have given us seven ticks. I look for six, that would have worked, and then this would have worked. I'm happy with my win on ES, but I need to just be making more trades. This is copper. Go down six ticks. I'm glad to be of help, Vincent. I truly believe in these signals, and it's why I get frustrated with myself for not taking more trades, because I really do believe they work. And there is probably some things to refine them, like using cumulative delta, something I haven't looked at. There's probably it's just you know the signals. The worst part of the signals is when there is something starting to range. It's like in a range they really don't work well. But I do believe that these signals can, if you refine the strategy enough to weed out some of the false signals, can give a better than 50% win rate with a better than a 1.5 to 1 to a 2 to 1 reward to risk. I really believe this is a good strategy. I just haven't been able to make it work for myself yet. But hearing that it's working for you gives me more confidence in it. We're a little bit after 10 o'clock. We'll probably go to about 10:30, quarter of 11. Do have a grocery order coming in about an hour from Walmart. It's a biggin. So gold has trended up 8 8 points since that signal. UltraBond, the last signal and everything so far has worked. And I did take the one signal, and ES is continuing to go down. So we could have continued. See, what I want to get brave enough to do, and I need more of a cushion in the gauntlet before I can, is to go in with two contracts on these signals. Take one to a profit target, like I did there, 2 points, 3 points, whatever, and then just let the other one sit at a break even, sit at my entry point as a stop loss, and then see how far it goes down, and either when the next the opposite signal fires, get out then, or with a very wide trailing stop, like maybe on ES instead of, I think I was trailing by like only a point there, and so instead maybe trailing like by 5 points or something like that, and that way get more of these moves. That's my strategy. Is how my strategy with coming up with these signals. That's what was originally planned, but I just don't feel comfortable enough doing that with multiple contracts. Although I could do it with multiple micros, and I may look into trying to figure out setting that up this weekend. I mean, if you could imagine, let's go back to NQ here for a minute. let's say I did that strategy of, uh, like say where this move started was, wow, way back here. So if I had entered here, 15 points, say I was looking for 15 points for my first, for two contracts. And say I entered, took 15 points, that's $300. And then just let the other one sit at break even and trail, or even trailed it. I didn't get an opposite signal until here. So that would have ended up being entered at 436, opposite signal fired here, it's 372. So 436, 372, 36, and 28, 66. So that would have got me about 64 points. And then I could have re-entered here and done the same thing. I mean, it wouldn't have been as big of a move. 364 to 345. So that's about 19 points. This one might have been not as good. 330 down to 303. So that would have got 27 points. And then it probably, but then that second one would have stopped out break even. And then here again, just 316 to 278. And now here again, we're at 213 and, you know, 126. The ATR line's all the way up here. So the opposite signal won't fire until 157. Still, but 213 and 157 is like 60 points. So that strategy would have netted me well over $3,000 today, or just in 6 a.m. following those short signals. And that's why I feel eventually I'm going to get this and I'm going to get it well and it's going to really work for me. And it's going to be something I'm comfortable enough teaching others how to do. I believe that this is a strategy that'll work for anybody once I refine it and can teach it to others so they can execute it themselves. I haven't kept up with my spreadsheet that I was doing, but I have a spreadsheet that had like 13 weeks of data using this strategy that showed that most things were giving me about a 60% win rate, and that was only at the 1 point. That was at the 1.5, 1.3 to 1.5 risk to reward. Now at 2 to 1, you're probably going to get a slightly smaller win rate, but still, I mean that. Right here, I still have the spreadsheet up. I think. Here, is it here? Maybe. Yeah, there. Nope, wrong spreadsheet. It's sheet 3. Let's go here. This is the spreadsheet I was keeping. So like here on copper, thank you. Copper, this week, I don't remember the dates. Um, I didn't put the dates on here. But whatever this week was, like at 20 to 15, I would have done 57 wins and 30 losses. We have a total of 690 ticks that week. So, and this is showing the data. NQ 26, 2660, and this is if I took every trade 24/7, and obviously that's not possible. But still, that that's the potential that this has. I just gotta trade it. Crude's coming up. My crude chart here and my crude chart and NinjaTrader have a different front month, so I'm not even looking at crude. Natural gas is coming up. Excuse me, hold on a minute. Oops, I lost my window. There it is. Things seem to be slowing down a bit here. Have we found the bottom? I thought we found the bottom here. Thought we found a bottom here, and we haven't found the bottom. So right now our low for the day on the NQ is all the way down now to 16,092. Let's pop back up to 2125. S&P trying to pop up. Crude popping, stopping, hopping like a rabbit. Anyone could tell me what song that's from? See, the indices are giving us buy signals. So we might have found a bottom. Always hesitant to jump into a signal, though, after a long trend. Is about NQ is above the SMA line, as is the S&P, as is the Russell, flirting with buy signals. Oh, there's the buy signal in the ES. It's a nice, strong looking move there. I like the way it bent the bands up. but I am hesitant the, because of there's no almost no well, I guess there was some consolidation there. Give me 1 second. Russell. So this is why I was hesitant. You can see here that it came up and then it's consolidating now here. Now we'll continue to go up now. This is a pullback. We'll see. So everything's kind of quietish. Nasdaq has gotten above the SMA line, but has not actually sent a buy signal. Just kind of sideways here, which is what you kind of want. You know, you eventually the trend's going to stop, and it's going to try and at least come up a little bit. We'll see if it ranges now or if it does pop. ES sent us this buy signal here, 4704, and it's gotten up to 4700. Oh, you know, wow. It actually would have given me the 3 points off that buy. No, I'm sorry. I looked at the wrong one. I lie. So we're going at 4705, and it's gone up to 4707. So 2 points so far. Kappa. So we see a short signal on the UB Treasury. Entry was 198.01. It did pull all the way back to 198.11. So that would definitely stop me out if I had gone here. But then it came back down and broke back through this SMA line. And this would have been the perfect entry here at 198 even. which almost is even to where this fired here, and since then it's given us 8 ticks. So in reality, the last one, two, three, this worked if you waited for the pullback to enter. The last four, same thing here. If we waited for the pullback to enter, the last 5 signals on the UltraBond worked. This one obviously would have failed, but we would never have taken that because we were in that strong downtrend. And obviously this one would have been. This is another one. Going in with 2 contracts, setting the other one at break even. We got 196, 198.06, and then if we got out here on this opposite signal, 196.31, well over $1,000, or just over $1,000. No, yeah, well over $1,000. There's so much potential with this strategy. I just need to continue building up and figuring out how to make it work for me. NQ giving a buy signal. We do see the bands opening up some. We see this SMA line slightly, just slightly bending up. So let's find ourselves an NQ chart, or let's do an MNQ chart. We'll go with an order quantity of 5. There she be. Oops. And we're buying we're market order in with 5. Ooh, big pullback right away. Yep, okay. Scared me for a second. Oh, pulling back. We're up 50, 60. $90. 100. There we go. Upwards momentum. Got my trailing stop going now. Moving fast. There we go. Beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. Oh yeah. Look at it go. There. This is where the trailing stop is working well. Okay, just stop this out there. Boom. Let's look at the stats on that one. Let's look at the stats on that one. So we got in at 16,165 and rode it up to 16,188. So it was a 23-point win. 23 points. So about $230. Still sitting down 67. I'm still down $67 on the day from last night's trades that didn't work out. But this morning now we've had two nice wins in a row here. ES and yeah, thank you. $230 win on that one, or just about. And trailing stop worked perfectly, as you can see this big pullback. Pullback is actually down below my entry point. So if I hadn't been trailing, I might have only gotten like 15 points out of it if I had just a regular profit target on it. Actually, wait. Let me look at that again. Got in at 65. What's the highest it reached? Not showing me. Oh, there we go. Reached a high of 94. And we got out at 88. So, yeah, that worked. There we go. So that was a very nice trade. And thank you, Vincent. 1030. Let's pull back to the SMA line. We'll see if it continues upwards. Copper also gave us a buy signal just about the same time NQ did. Pulled back a tick, and it's gone. It's only gone 4 ticks so far. Now, why did I like this buy signal? It was nicely above the SMA line. Wasn't just hugging it, and it seemed like it'd be heading up. So we'll see. Yeah, I agree. The Asian session seems to be a little bit more choppy. I've experimented with looking for smaller targets because the Asian session obviously has less volume. But it seems like once European session, that's where things really seem to start working well. Which is why I've said if I could, I would trade like overnight into the U.S. Open and then sleep during the day. But I can't do that yet. Now, NQ came back down, bounced off the SMA, it's heading back up. If I was a braver man, and it's not really actually being brave, it's the fact that, I just don't have that much room for error in these gauntlet things, but I would have rested. It actually never even touched the SMA, so I would have said I would have rested an order on the SMA line, but it actually never touched, so it wouldn't have failed anyway. That said, after seeing this green candle, here, this actually would have been a decent entry as well. It's gone up 15 points. Now it's pulled back to only 2 points, but you could have got a 10-point scalp off of that. No idea what all these lines are on Crude. We can get rid of those just because it's bothering me. Check Walmart. So now things are kind of quiet again. This is kind of what you expect, though. You expect some action, and then takes a breath, and then some action, takes a breath. Now, again, copper's definitely not being fun today. You can see if I had gone in on the short signal here, which looked to be pretty decent, it only would have went down from 90 down to, actually this is the low, 90 down to 40, so 10 ticks. I'm usually looking for 16 with an 8 tick stop loss, and it would have stopped us out. Would have stopped us out here. It would have, all these signals, none of these would have worked. For copper, I'm definitely staying out. Burned me twice last night. Have not taken it today. Nasdaq's riding its SMA line. Gold is sideways totally. Treasury states on this another short signal. Now, I was just saying just a few minutes ago how all these last signals would have worked on the treasuries, and then we got one that didn't. 13-point move up, and then this doji candle, and then back down. Now this one would have worked. It's already gone down 5 ticks. But I'm always wary. If I get a buy signal on a candle that's so much larger than any of the most recent candles. This 13 tick, we've seen 0, 4, 1, 2, 6. This is more than double any recent candle. And so I probably wouldn't have taken this buy signal, even though, there's no, no big red flags to say no, besides the fact that it was such a huge candle out of the blue. A lot of times that's just somebody that came in with a big market order and blew through the DOM, and then everything's going to return to normal. HG, GC, NQ, bunch of signals all of a sudden. Gold trying to push maybe downward. It's come up, flattened, now showing a downward momentum again. NQ also giving a short signal here. ES has not. Now ES is sending a signal. Short. We still have upward trending bands, and we still have an upward trending SMA line. It's the same thing, kind of. I mean, Nasdaq's slightly uptrending here, but I don't know. When I get signals here, I kind of hesitate. You can see because it came down here 3 times, didn't get below this level. So is it going to come down and get below that level again? You know, now it has 35 points until it gets to that low. So, that's enough room to get nice profit. But I don't know. To me, this is more going to come down slightly, then maybe bounce back up and maybe range for a while before trying to make another leg up. I'll be surprised if we end up this, at these lows on the day. I think it's going to recover some. Maybe originally I said I'll be surprised if we didn't get back up to like 16,350. That was before it dropped another 100 points. So I don't know. Maybe it recovered back up to the 200, 250 area. But I'm not basing that on anything concrete. It's just basing it on how I've seen other days act, where you've seen the big morning drops and then it kind of covers as it comes up toward the close. Probably can find some examples of that. Let's take a look quick. Boop, 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 boop. Obviously, that yesterday, you kind of like here. This is just 2 days ago. We saw this move up here at 131. It fell all the way down to 736. So it fell 400 points, and then came back and recovered at least about half of it. That's just seems to be kind of what happens when there's a big move down. It starts recovering as we get to the afternoon hours, unless there's a news event. So we're coming up on quarter of 11. Gonna end the stream in the next 5 minutes or so, unless something really pops. Nasdaq's popping back up a little bit here. So this on this short signal at 136 came down to 111. So again, that would have given me my 20 points. That would have been an excellent trade there. So one day I need to just analyze how many trades would work versus how many I don't. Just play the percentages and just grab every signal. Continue working this. Gold. You see gold's ranging. Not sure what these lines. Did I draw these lines out earlier? No. I have no idea where these lines came from. This might be from an earlier range. But you see here that oops. See here, we're ranging in between here and here. So about, I mean, it's a 3.5 point range. But it came up, was hugging the SMA line, bounced down, hit the ATR lines, come up since. Now, since started coming up, it has come up over 2 points. But we'll want to see it. We're in a long uptrend. Started back here. That one I said I missed and I should have taken. And I mean, it's gone up almost over 8 points. Let's look at a daily chart, see where we're at. We're above anything that we've been in since the 30th of November. And that went up high. That was part of a big downtrend. It's been kind of just sideways since. So on the daily chart, we're above the SMA lines now. You know, it's interesting with these buy and sell signals is that even on the daily chart, if you're in a position, you know, obviously not with these evaluation programs, you got to sell each day, but the buy and hold, these would work well. You can see here, like it sent this buy signal in April 2021, and it went up, you know, 150 points, which is like $15,000. And almost always work. This one, like here, this one sent the short signal the next day, it dropped 22 points, $2,200, right? 1 point is 100, no, 22,000, 22 points. 1 point is $1,000. No, ah, I get all these points and ticks things mixed up. 10 ticks make a point. Yeah, so $100, $2,200. No, that's not right. See, now I'm getting this all mixed up. This is why I keep a calculator. Gold. 900, 922, one contract, calculate. Yeah, $2,200. Okay, that's better. ESNQ sending me a signal while I am math challenged. Trying to curl back up above that SMA line. The SMA line slightly downtrending. Should be more likely to expect a bounce there, even if it is sending us a buy signal. Although this is a better buy signal here on the ES. High of the recent move is 47.1775. We're at 47.1325. And I'm going to probably be cutting this stream here shortly because I'm watching Walmart to see when they tell me my order's on the way. Not yet. Remember, I'm back here tomorrow morning, 7:30 Eastern Time. Quad witching tomorrow. S&P kind of bouncing again here. NQ making that same move. Oh, I'm on a daily chart on gold. No wonder it looked weird. Gold bounced off 1799.3 and pulled back. Treasury bonds back to selling off. It's been an interesting day on the treasuries. Big moves up and down. NQ still flirting with that buy signal. Copper did send us a buy signal, but like I said, me and Copper are having relationship issues. Okay. ES, there's the signal on ES. Immediately pulls back afterwards. Okay, everyone, I think I'm going to call it there for the day. I do thank everyone for joining me. Like I said, be back here tomorrow, 1 week before Christmas Eve. Hard to believe how fast the year's gone. Have yourselves a great rest of your day. Jay, it's 10 a.m. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Bye.